Scooping up a distraction, Joe Biden was recently spotted getting ice cream at two different Baskin-Robbins in Maryland in just 1 week. It comes as some of his former aides are questioned on a brain freeze of a different kind. Former Biden senior advisor Anita Dunn arriving on Capitol Hill for a closed-door interview on Biden's mental decline and the auto pen. But unlike others who pled the fifth, Ms. Dunn was ready to talk. In an opening statement obtained by Fox, she said, quote, "While I observed that President Biden aged physically during his time in office, which is something that happens to every president, he remained throughout my interactions with him fully engaged and clear in his directions and supervision." Ms. Dunn, though, however, was not ready to talk to reporters.
Were you against doing a cognitive test for President Biden? Were you afraid of sharing any of the results from a cognitive test? Would you have supported a cognitive test if the doctor would have approved of it? Do you think the president was fit to serve for another 4 years?
Maybe soft serve, right, Kennedy? He likes his soft serve. Sprinkles or no sprinkles, I'm not really sure. Does ice cream and mental acuity go hand in hand, Kennedy?
Yes, because I think, sadly, his brains are as luscious as soft serve. I'm trying to use a positive adjective here. But yes, I mean, when people get on in age, sometimes it's the simpler things in life that bring them the most comfort and joy. And, you know, I think a big field trip to Baskin-Robbins is just what the big guy ordered. And, you know, he's supposedly writing his memoir right now. It's a scintillating book that almost no one wants to read, and I'm sure he's not delighted to write it. But we are hearing word that if former Vice President Harris put some nasty things in her memoir about him, that his camp is prepared to retaliate. So maybe they're doing some spitballing sessions out at the old ice cream shop.
I'm sure Dr. Biden is on standby on that one. Listen, Jesse, Joe Biden has said, "I don't smoke, I don't drink, but I eat a lot of ice cream." Anita Dunn, of course she's going to, defend him. It would be a reflection on her if she said that, yes, I saw some decline.
Well, she didn't take the fifth. And so I guess I'm supposed to be happy about that. This is the preseason, Rosanna, and they're just getting these people on the record under oath. So when they do go out on live TV under the bright lights and Comer hits him square between the eyes, he's setting a perjury trap. Or they'll wiggle and dance, and we can really see who was the main cover-up artist and where the contours were for the cover-up. And we can zero in on the main culprits, and we can zero in on a specific law that was invalid if there was no one at home while he, meaning AutoPen, was writing it. Now, the ice cream, I feel bad about all of my... I shouldn't have made fun of his ice cream, but I had rules, and they were simple. When you get an ice cream cone as a grown man, you go with your family. You go on vacation. You don't wander into an ice cream parlor by yourself with security on a Tuesday afternoon. That's where it gets a little sad and pathetic.
Unless you're ordering iced coffee.
Right,
Tyrus,
I guess.
I know you're saying this, but he spent about $10,000 on ice cream during the 2020 election. There were reports about this.
True?
There were reports that he spent $10,000, but he didn't eat all the, all of it himself.
He didn't eat all ice cream.
No,
he
spent
fell asleep between scoops.
No, apparently he bought it for some of the donors too.
Oh, of course he did. Of course he did.
That's what the donors want.
Yes, nothing like using your illegal Chinese money to buy ice cream for the donors. Listen, I think what we're seeing here, and we shouldn't really make fun of this because this is what people typically do when they're getting their loved ones ready for the home. You go on little routines. You go to the, like he thinks he's going on speaking events and they're taking him to the ice cream shop because he won't say, "Hey, where's my podium?" He'll be like, "Oh, chocolate chip." And then he has a nice day. And then they go to the ice cream show and again the following week. Then eventually they're going to go to the ice cream shop, and on the way back, they're going to stop at this really pretty hospital. And it's got a really cool room, and it's got pictures of Corn Pop on the wall, and his favorite rocking chair, and his favorite beach chair. We're just going to have some ice cream in this little room. And then Dr. Jill's going to go talk to the doctor for a minute, and the door's going to lock. And then Ben Stiller's going to come in and say, "You're in my world now, Grandpa." So that's what's happening. That's all what's happening. We've all been there. We've all done that. You know, give them those last few days before you put them in the home.
Dana, of course, Miss Dunn is defending him, but she did have a few things reportedly to say about Hunter Biden. She wasn't happy with the timing of the pardon. Not so much the pardon, but the timing of the pardon.
I've always admired her as a professional, but I also remember that right after the debate, she was kind of Baghdad Bob for the White House, and she was like, "Our numbers haven't gone down." Meanwhile, I would imagine she wasn't, held back from knowing about the switcheroo that was about to take place. I am certain somebody said, "Anita, what do you think?" And then, so that's kind of interesting. But I also, you know who I want to see question Anita Dunn? It's Hunter. He's got a big beef with her. One of the things he complained about is that this is Hunter Biden, said that she made $40 to $50 million off Biden and the Democrats over the years, and he's got an issue. So when she says, "I had an issue with the Hunter Biden pardon," and not the pardon itself, but the timing of it, then you know that actually would be the best way to see her questioned, is if Hunter had a chance.
All right. Keeping an eye on.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.